Hi guys, what is up? It is Sophie. So I actually just finished my freshman year of college the other day. Not exactly how I expected to end it, but it's done now. So now that I've officially survived freshman year, I thought that I would make this video with some tips for you guys, some advice from what I have learned being a freshman in college. Before I get into everything, if you want to see more college tips and advice videos, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more because I have a ton of stuff planned for the next few months. Okay, so my first big tip is something that if you are going to be a college freshman in the fall, this is something you can start doing now, and that is to just connect with a lot of people ahead of time. So my school had a Facebook page for the incoming freshmen where we would post some pictures, a little bio, you know, and that's actually how I found my roommate through that. Everyone would be posting there. We would make Snapchat groups that would be posted in there, and just through that and through Instagram and everything is how I actually ended up meeting a ton of my friends. I go to a really big school. I go to University of Arizona, and there are 35,000 or 30,000 undergrads, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's a big school. But because of how many people that I just sort of knew of and met sort of through social media before I even got to campus, it made it feel a lot smaller. The first few weeks it was so common for someone to come up to me and say oh, I recognize you from Instagram, Facebook, whatever, or me to say that to someone else, you know. A lot of the people who I'm actually really close friends with now, we followed each other on Instagram before we even got to campus and ended up being really good friends. So I just think social media is a really great way to sort of get to know some people before school starts. Okay, so my second tip, this is something that I really followed my first semester, and that is to just say yes to every opportunity you get. Now I'm not saying say yes to something that sounds sketchy or something that's clearly not a good idea. Use your judgment, obviously. If it's something that sounds weird or sketchy, don't do that. But if you meet someone and they invite you to something, just say yes to it. Just go to every party. Every time someone invites you to lunch or dinner, go. That was sort of always my mentality, and I really tried to stick to it, especially the first 2 months of college. And yeah, I think I met so many people through that, and I also made some really great crazy memories from that. So you never know what's gonna happen, and yes, you might end up having dinner or something with someone who you don't really click with, and then that's fine. The nice thing about college, in my opinion, is that I've always felt in high school and everything in my hometown, was just not a fan of it, that a lot of people I was friends with just for the fact of okay, we live in the same town, we go to the same high school, you know, there's not that many of us, it was a small town. Whereas in college, you really have the opportunity to just meet so many new people from different places, and you have the option of who you want to be friends with more than at least I did in my high school experience. If I don't vibe with someone in college, great, I never have to see them again. And you're also constantly meeting new people, whereas in high school and my whole education before college, I was with the same people from pre-K to senior year. So I wasn't really getting to meet new people the way that I literally do every day in college. So yeah, say yes to every opportunity. That sounds fun. And yeah, you never know what'll happen. Okay, my next tip is a pretty cliche one, but it is to just get involved somehow on campus. For me, I joined a sorority, but Greek life, I totally understand, is not for everyone. And there are so many club options and just other ways that you can get involved besides Greek life. Most colleges literally have hundreds of clubs, and if there's an interest that you have and there's not a club for it, a lot of the time you can create your own club, which is super cool. I currently am not a part of any clubs at my school, but that is something that I'm going to change next year because I want to be more involved. The only thing I'm really involved with is my sorority currently, and I love that. I've literally met so many people through that. I've also met some of my best friends through that. But like I said, my campus has so many club options and ways to get involved, and I just want to do that more. So again, getting involved in some way is another really good way to meet new people you maybe wouldn't have met otherwise, you know. Okay, my next tip is not one for everyone, I would say. Some people are really going to probably disagree with this, but from my personal experience, I think this is a great decision, and that is to live in the party dorm or like most social dorm. Now, if you're not a big partier, you're not really interested in that very much, and you want to focus mainly on your studies in school, like totally up to you. This is just my personal advice from my experience. I lived in what was known as like the party dorm at my school, and I loved it. I'm not kidding you, the amount of people that I met just through living in my dorm is like crazy. The first few weeks of school, everyone was having their doors open, and like my friends and I would just hop from floor to floor, just meeting new people, knocking on doors if they were closed, and just literally meeting everyone, and it was so much fun. I loved hanging out in the dorms, and most of my friends lived in the same dorm, which was super nice because we could always go to each other's rooms. It was also, I think, the second biggest dorm on campus, or it was up there in like one of the biggest dorms. So there were always a ton of people around. I would not have wanted to live anywhere else freshman year, even if it's like maybe not the nicest, like prettiest dorm. Like, it's so worth it in my opinion to just live in a dorm that's like known for being fun and social, because I don't know, I think it really impacted my experience in a really good way, and I don't think I would have met half the people I know if I hadn't lived in that dorm. Okay, and my next tip going off of that is to find a balance between school and social life. My studies and grades and everything are very important to me, and I spend a lot of time making sure that I am getting all those A's. But that doesn't mean that I don't like to have fun and go out as much as I want to. For me, finding that balance of nights in studying and nights out having fun with my friends was really important, and that balance is different for everyone. Like, it's all about finding the right balance for you. For me, one of the most important like rules I had for myself was that if I did have like a really big test the next day or something, I would not go out the night before. There's going to be another party, you know, the next night or the night after. Like, you can take a night in to like get a good grade on a test. Or if I had like a really big essay due or something, like it was that over going out or anything, even if my friends were like, I know FOMO is very real, but for me at least, you know, I needed that balance of, okay, some days I have to focus more on school, some days I can focus more on my social life, and it worked out really well for me. You can go out plenty and be fine as long as you care about your work and you put in that effort. So, okay, my next piece of advice is to just familiarize yourself with what resources are available on campus in terms of mental health, because I don't think this is something that is talked about a ton in videos like this. I didn't really see this ever brought up in videos like this when I was going into my freshman year watching college advice videos, but the transition from high school to college is hard for most people. For me, I mainly struggled more my second semester with issues that were related to like that transition. I moved across the country for school. I moved way far away. The transition of, okay, I'm living on my own. I have to figure out how to just be an adult and, you know, learn how to live on my own without my parents and everything. So I just think it's important in that sense to like understand a lot of people in college are dealing with mental health issues, and there are resources at every school, as far as I know, to help you. I personally saw a therapist at my school, which was super helpful, and I'm personally so against the whole stigma on mental health and seeing a therapist and everything. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And so yeah, if you are struggling at all through any of your years at college, reach out to someone and just know that there are resources there to help you and you will get through it. Okay, so my next tip is something I wish I could go back and tell myself at the beginning of freshman year, and that is to budget yourself, watch what you're spending your money on. I was really stupid because of just how I spent my money the first few months of college. I didn't have a job my freshman year because I had saved a ton of money for going into college, and so this was my first time really ever like living without having some sort of steady income. Like, literally since 7th grade, I have had a job. So I always had money coming in every week or every 2 weeks, and had never really had to budget myself. You know, if I wanted to go shopping with my friends, I could go whenever I wanted. If I wanted to eat out, I could go, you know, because I was always just making more money, and even though I had saved a ton, I didn't have that like cash inflow that I had in the past, and I definitely just shopped and spent money on dinners out way more than I should have. Second semester, I just got really good about budgeting myself, limiting myself. I would really only eat off of my meal plan like once or twice a week, if that. Like I would try to, you know, spend as little money on things that weren't necessities, and I would try to save for like bigger things. Like I went to like a lot of concerts and festivals and stuff, and I would rather be spending my money on that than on a new pair of shorts. So yeah, I would just say watch what you're spending your money on, just because broke college students, it's a very real thing. Just so you don't have to become desperate for money and like try to sell feet pics on the internet. Not that I did that, but okay. And my last piece of advice is that high school is over. Not to be blunt for all those people who really loved high school, but you're going to this new place and you have this opportunity to be yourself, be whoever you want. You don't have to be defined by who you were in high school, and no one cares about who you were in high school. We're all here to just meet new people, have new experiences, and move on with life. So yeah, I think it's so important to just let yourself be yourself in the truest sense, and you will meet your lifelong friends and just people who are so similar to you in that way. Whether you loved or hated high school, like, it's in the past now, it's over, and you have your whole life ahead of you, so you just don't want to be stuck living in the past, and you don't want to like limit yourself from opportunities because of that. And yeah, overall, college is so much fun. I swear, I love college. I am counting the days until I'm back on campus. It truly was the best year of my life, and I can't wait for 3 more. Even with like a quarter of my freshman year being taken away, I still can confidently say like I had a great freshman year no matter what, and I am so happy that I go to school where I go to school. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it gave you some tips for going into your freshman year of college. I know things for the future are kind of uncertain right now. Like, I know there's a chance that schools won't be going back in the fall, but I am choosing to remain optimistic, and I think you should too. I think that's sort of the best mentality to have in a situation like this. And to all the seniors who are watching this who missed out on their sort of end of high school experience, I am sorry. I know that must be really hard to like not have senior prom and stuff. Yeah, no, it just sucks. It's a really shitty situation, but just know that you have a lot to look forward to because college is the best. Okay, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments section, or if you have any video requests for college related videos. Like I said, I have a lot of stuff planned that I want to talk about, and you can check out my social media if you want to see what I'm up to during quarantine, what I'm up to when I'm not filming. You can check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.